Nope.
Okay. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4.
I think you were wrong.
So we're in Shom's home. Home of Shom.
Shom Sweet.
Shom Suite. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Welcome back to Side by Side Plays. I'm Shikuquaza.
I'm Waifu.
And this is the great Ace to tell you. Did you get a drink for yourself? Or was this your drink?
That was my drink. I gave it to you.
Okay.
I might take sips here and then again, but...
Looking over here. She got a booty. Is it as described in the stories, Miss Susato? Susato-san? Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room. Oh, I suppose they must have been, yes? Never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as it seems to be. You know, I'll be honest, this game actually really makes me want to read all the Sherlock Holmes stories. There can't be that many of there, can there? Can there? I know
I'm looking it up right now. You keep playing.
We're literally...
You keep playing.
2 minutes in. The detective chases the villain relentlessly as he disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it, the romanticism. Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? I turned the light off, didn't I? Yes, I did. Can't you, Mr. Naruto? I feel like I've read it enough times, I can probably start pronouncing it Naruhudo, which is the correct pronunciation, but Naruto is just so much funnier to me. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go touch myself over there on the seat. I'm just gonna stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer. Please, don't mind me. You're counting.
These are the really, really old ones, all the way from the 1800s. 1, 2, 4 novels. 5 short stories. No, that's just the beginning.
This can't be that complicated of a question, can it?
Well, if you go to Amazon, the complete Sherlock Holmes collection is 6 books.
Okay. Yeah, I just want the ones that are by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Fun fact, if you didn't already know, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle fucking hated Sherlock. He hated how popular the books were.
Yeah, because Sherlock was an asshole, and he was supposed to be an asshole.
And so he cursed him to his dying breath. And then, after he died, they erected a statue of Sherlock Holmes across from his grave, which is so fucking hilarious because he's never gonna get a night of peace as long as he's dead.
He wrote 6 books. Ooh, there's an illustrated one. That one says 7.
canon of Sherlock Holmes consists of 56 short stories and 4 novels. Because, like, Sherlock Holmes isn't, like, he's sort of a public use character. Like, there's still a copyright associated with him, but people can still portray him, I guess, in different stories. But, like, yeah, extra canonical works, that's just as an example.
Alright, this one, yeah. Can get on Amazon for the Kindle edition for 80 pounds. I think those are pounds. That's a pound sign. Or hardcover for 1,160 pounds. Or paperback for 290 pounds.
I found one on Amazon, paperback. You can get the Complete Novels and Stories, Volume 1, on Kindle for $3 or paperback for $7.
The Complete Sherlock Holmes, all 56 stories and 4 novels.
Holy shit. So, I remember, fucking... back in high school, there was always... There was a guy that I knew that had, like, a thick-ass book of all the Sherlock Holmes stories. And I know other people that have seen that book, so I wonder if there's just a way I can find that version.
I'm sure there is.
Shopping. The complete collection. I think I found it.
Do you work on it?
I do not.
Oh.
Well, this will be something to look for at Barnes & Noble. Anyway, she's obsessed.
What's new?
Well, I honestly, I know you haven't played any of the other Ace Attorney games, but, like, there's no plug over there. It's probably charged by now. You can just play it for a little bit and stay over here. I think Susato is honestly one of probably the best, assistant in these games. Like, Maya's kind of boring. Emma isn't a character until like the 6th game.
There's so much about Susato.
Yeah, Susato gets so much personality in this. Trucy has a personality, but she really doesn't get a whole lot of spotlight. Apollo just kind of does his own thing. And he does that for one game, and then Trucy kind of stops being around entirely. Then you get Rafa. Rafa in the 6th game is also really good, but you don't get a whole lot of time with her. I think with the amount of time that we get to spend with Susato and the personality that she has, I'd be remiss to say that she's probably the best one. Oh, and then there's the investigations games. K is terrible. Anyway. Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh, that's not who I expected at all. Hello, is it a big new case for Mr. Sholmes? Hello. Wait, aren't you... Oh, how rude of me. I'll make some tea at once. I'm sure it's the same girl. Mr. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? Yeah, isn't it truly extraordinary? To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case. The King of Bowaria? King Wilhelm Gottsreich Sigismund von Ormstein, of course. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Sholmes for a moment and look over there. I've got the tea! And a freshly baked cake as well! What the fuck? That was fast. Ah, it's you! I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. There you are. Are we flashing back? Seriously? Taking that with you as well. Give me the gun. Give me the fucking gun. It's my gun. I like guns. That's all you need to know. I'm the big gun little girl archetype from a lot of anime. It works really well. Oh, she's got a little, look at the little boo-boo on the backpack. The little bun. Oh, Speaking of little girl and big gun, I'm actually really excited that they're making a sequel to AI the Somnium Files, and you get to play as Mizuki. I mean, granted, she's a little older, but like, her weapon is an electronic pipe, like just a pipe, but like with sci-fi gears and whistles.
Fun.
That's fucking hilarious. Like, I don't even genuinely know how that works, but like, since you technically had a gun in the first game, but it was through quick time events, you don't get to actually use it. I've never met a lawyer. I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Oh, you having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London? Oh yeah, I guess that's challenging. Ow. Well, try this tea. It's a special blend, you know? Thanks.
Is tea supposed to look that color?
Now I'm curious what color it is. Because tea can be so many different colors. A fragrant yet mellow flavor. Sorry. I ate 2 Skittles. Thinking I could chew them faster than this. I'm always at my hungriest whenever we turn the mic on. I tried blending different leaves together to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you must have you have another ticklish trial tomorrow. How did I know that? You're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. How do I know that? Good question. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us? We haven't even seen him in London yet. Oh, you know Hurley. Whoa.
Hurley?
Hurley? His name is Hurley. Oh, Herlock. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So what? I gotta know what they call her in the what his name, like the joke. I'm assuming for his name, like Hairlock. That joke in the original script was probably Sir Locke, because he was Sherlock Holmes in the original script. So, well, like, what does she call him? Surly? There's no way.
Hurley?
Shirley. Oh, it's probably Shirley. Hurley, Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley. Nah, it would that would be the joke. Surely, Mr. Sholmes to you, Shirley. Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Yeah, I was just saying last time, I missed Sholmes. I really wish he would come back. Was he really? Well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand today, even though he's just returned from overseas. Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. She turned to us. She's looking at us. Eyes piercing into our souls. You know, I actually wish. I don't know how you would implement this, because I'm not good at writing mysteries. But I want a character. I want a character in this like the newer games with the models that never blinks, and you find out that they're actually a robot or something being controlled by somebody else. Like, that would be real neato, Burrito. That would really tickle my pickle. Did she deduce all those things, do you think? Yeah, she's... Wait, okay, so I don't know anything about Herlock Sholmes, but, like, is Watson, like, the actual smart one? Because I think one of the TV shows did that, if I'm thinking... I'm probably wrong, because, like, in the actual stories, I'm sure Sherlock's probably the smart one. But, like, I think either the American or the English one, Watson was, like, way better at it than Sherlock was, or something. I can't remember. Because I think this is Watson. This is the game's Watson. Because remember, the actual Watson got killed in the first case. Why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite? Oh. That's a...
Yeah, did
someone
you not know?
someone find the Bobby. I think we need to get this girl to safety. Oh, silly me. I haven't introduced myself, have I? I'm Mr. Sholmes' girlfriend. Okay, that's it. We're arresting this detective.
Also, it's a little sister.
Oh, you're Iris. Okay, yeah. I heard about a character called Iris that people really liked. It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson, and I know I chose this voice. I chose this voice for a character who appears in both games. Maybe I can push her off on Scott. I don't think it's so weird because I feel like I do way more female voices than him, but like I have the way deeper voice.
Mm-hmm.
I live here together with Hurley. Iris, is it? So, what a lovely name. What? What's the matter? No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson? What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Do you think that's why she was so quiet during the first case? Because she, like, was sad that Wilson died or something? I don't know. Yes, that's right. What are your names? Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruto, a lawyer from Japan. Oh, sorry. I'm Mr. Naruto's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely. Susie and Runo. Got it. Runo, really? Okay. Like, Susie makes sense. Susie, like, I could see that happening. Like, you introduce yourself as Susato and some English person's like, I'm not gonna remember that. I'll just call you Susie. And it's kind of a little racist, but whatever. But Runo is, like, the weird one for me. Like, obviously, Ryunosuke is very Japanese. But I kind of get it. Like, that's close to Bruno, which is an English name. Or is it? It's pretty Western. There's more to this girl than meets the eye. I have so many questions for her. I don't know where to start. Do you think this girl knows Japanese? Yes, and so do I. I actually wonder how the original script is. Because, like, the implication is that when they're in England talking to English people, they're speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta wonder if... It's gotta be all in Japanese, right? Like, they wouldn't have switched over to English halfway through? Because they do know English in Japan, but, like, not to that extent? I mean, most people probably do, but, like... They'd want it to be accessible. It'd be like this, no different than... Well, America's a little different, because we're a lot more self-centered. But I guess, like, comparably would be like releasing a game that switched to Spanish halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't... I don't know. I don't know if that would... That's probably not how it is. They probably just leave the implication there, like they do in the English version, but I don't know. I'm way overthinking this. It was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey? Yes, that's right. You were ever so helpful. Thank you so much. I got my gun back. Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming. Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us. Oh, you made this one? Like this?
No.
Ah, thinking back now. You left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you? Oh yeah, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade. Lestrade. Oh, Ginny? Yeah, she's a professional pickpocket. She's been my best mate. So we found out. It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that. Are you referring to that trial-disrupting gun-like contraption? Exactly, so I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions. Alright, she's great. I love her. This girl is dangerous. Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that. You could find her in the closet, along with the other skellies. She's 10. She has what? She has a degree in medicine and the author of a popular series of short stories.
She's
at 10.
Welcome to Japan.
No, it's English. So she's going to apologize to my trusty technician. Sorry, your technician? Hurley, of course, silly. Oh my god. Hurley? Yes, Herlock. Herlock Sholmes. We live here together. I had no idea the great detective had such an interesting young daughter. That's a safe assumption.
Yeah.
I mean, different last name, but like, yeah, that would be like, that would be something you'd say if you wanted to know the actual relationship. Like you just, like you know that they're not the daughter, but you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Daughter? Not likely. That old fart? What? I would never call him daddy. I won't call him Hurley if it was my daddy, would I? Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Don't use that word, please. Well, I expect you've... why did I turn southern there for a second? Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. Holy shit, it's like America. So the solution is to share the cost with a partner, a roommate. Oh no. They were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. How old are you? 10 years old! What are your mom and dad? Don't got one. They're not around. Well, actually, my dad's still alive, but he's visiting Japan as a teacher of some sort. Ah, I see. I wonder what the story is there. Come on, Ryunosuke. You're supposed to be a lawyer. Wilson. Oh, it's because this is the option. There's something I must ask you. Of course, of course. Go ahead, Susie. I'm a very great fan of the adventures of Herlock Sholmes and... Oh, you have a copy of Rance magazine? Yes, I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting. My stories are being read on the other side of the world. My stories? That's right. Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see, and he tells me all about them. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, if you think of it from the context of the game and, like, how extravagant the stories are compared to how not Sherlock Holmes or Herlock Sholmes actually is. It'd be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think? Goodness. Last night, he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came. Can we proofread that? So you are the author. Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm gonna call Oh no! I'm gonna call the latest adventure the Speckled Band. That's certainly very familiar. Of course, I always change one or two details in the stories here and there. I must say a snake actually did it. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of the... Oh, fucking... Dude. Oh, that was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually. Ahoy! Of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but it's a story. Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think, don't you? So, do you mean to say, are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine all written by me? That's not what I was gonna ask. But all the stories I've ever read, all written by a doctor of medicine. Wait. Soto-san's getting more and more worked up. Oh yes, that's me. I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's still me. I'm a doctor of medicine. No, even the game. No, at 10 years old? At 10 years old, yeah. Well, that's quite incredible. But, oh wow. Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes. I did alter the setting slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh. Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year girls. It's time for bed, girls. Where are my minions? I suppose it does, yes. Poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world is just falling apart. So, wait, does that mean that the Wilson... No, he's gotta be the same guy. He's gotta be Dr. John. The fact that they're not making a connection makes me believe that there's something going on then. Like, it's gonna be a big reveal later. So the guy that died in the first case is not actually related to the girl. And, like, there's something important with him. Like, he took on the name from the stories or something.
He's hiding his identity.
Yeah, because if it were just that he was her father and it was the obvious thing, the game would have told us by now. They would have let you come. They would have had that connection. So the fact that they're not doing it leads me to say that there's something here. About before. Yes, yes. What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me. How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London, I mean? Well, I mean, it's not really that hard to figure out that we're not from around here with our dress and such. You're wearing a sword, Ryunosuke.
And I'm wearing a kimono.
Oh, that's what you mean. Please tell us how you did it all. Explain every detail. I want there to just be you know, like from the ship, the deduction segment, but just from Iris' perspective, and nothing needs to be changed. It's just everything's correct. Now, let's begin. Oh my god. I was fucking kidding! First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Bruno. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber. But you also said that we'd only just arrived in London. How did you know that? Still got your passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket? Oh. So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on the top of that, you accepted a case on that particular prosecutor, telling me you weren't aware of London's court affairs. Reaper of the Bailey. I walked right into that one, didn't I? I noticed it. What do you have there, Susie? You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you, earlier today? Oh. They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see. I didn't realize. An arrest stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. This is honestly like... So, I didn't watch a whole lot of Criminal Minds, but like that was supposed to be like the psychological version of CSI or whatever. And one line always sticks out to me is that like they point out like how what makes your precinct different than any old detective agency, and they're like, yeah, it's psychological based. And so the guy questioning is like, well, what do you know about me from the time?
Oh, is this the one where he's like, you're gambling and you're losing?
No, it's
where
something
he tears
different.
him down?
No, different. This is like near the end of season 1.
Oh,
and the detective or the guy who leaves at Detective 1 after season 1. I don't. You know the character.
I know the character. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name. He dies sometime later.
The actor left the show. Yeah.
Yeah, they kill his character off.
He like immediately, like they've been talking for like maybe 5 minutes, and he's like, "You're recently married," and the guy's like, "How did you know that?" And he's like, "You've been messing with your wedding band. You must not be used to the feeling of it yet." And I was like, "Dude, that's so like obvious, but like holy shit," because like there's so much. Yeah, it's very interesting for me because I went to college for psychology, and just like the practical applications of psychology are a lot more limited than they'd lead you to believe in media. But like stuff like that always intrigues me because like duh, obviously it's just not something that you notice until it's pointed out to you. So that tells me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGilded, two of you had already caused to visit a foreign inmate in a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face, so I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case. I see. How could you have known about the trials tomorrow? Well, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me he caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling. Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has that fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono. I want her to pronounce it wrong.
Kimono?
Kimono, isn't it? Kimono. What? Well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both came from Japan yourselves. So put two and two together and you decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. There was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. She does the same pose that Sherlock does. That's amazing. You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
Yay, I finished all my challenges.
There's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will be tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife, you know. He is silly. And that's all. It's the only place in the whole apartment where he can keep his knives and keep them out of the reach of a child. It's stabbed into the wall. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions. You're much better than your roommate.
Are you sure you don't solve the cases all the time, and you just use Sherlock as a...
Was it a winner? Were my deductions correct? They were spot on. That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction. Sherlock could learn a thing or two from you.
Oh yeah, he never actually solves the case. He just brings them to me.
You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholm's delivery. Ah, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You can tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please? No! I won't do that for some reason. Iris, could I show you this? No! What is it? Tell me all about it. Actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind. Why would it? Well, no, I suppose it wouldn't. Tell me, you want to hear everything? This hasn't gone according to plan. Alright, bye. So yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying. Oi! Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage, but the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him I thought that was gonna go a different way. The police were waiting to ambush him. They're like, finally, we got you, you prick. Great detective.
Sign our son, give us your autographs. Something stupid like that.
Nah, I was gonna say, like, they were gonna arrest him for being a nuisance. We told you to leave the country and never come back.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, and also, guess who I found?
Saint Germain!
Mm-hmm.
What? No way.
Yeah, he's in this game! We, go around, I find, like, jewels for him, and he gives me,
So, like, almost his same role as in Curse of Darkness.
Yep.
That's so weird, because that would have come up way before the show. Way before Saint Germain was in the show. I don't think anybody really cared about Saint Germain, because he's an interesting character, but he's only in the one Castlevania game.
But, I don't know. I'm not really sure. And I don't know what this director or writer has a relationship with the Castlevania writer and director.
It's really interesting.
But I remember...
Which one is that? Shin
This
Megami Tensei...
Apocalypse 4. Now there's 2 apocalypses, so... I mean, there's 2, Shin Megami 4. I got a dragon!
I can't see any fucking reason that would be. That's weird. What an odd thing. There's a Castlevania Curse of Darkness reference in Shin Megami 4 Apocalypse.
Oh, really? Where?
The Saint Germain.
Oh, just the Shin Germain.
But I don't see what the connection is, like why they would do that.
Well, let's look up what's just about Saint Germain. Comet D. Saint Germain was a European adventurer. So he's just someone from...
Is he a mythological character?
No, he's a philosopher. He's just a philosopher.
No, I mean, like, yeah, obviously, but, like, he's in the Castlevania franchise, which is made by Konami. Shin Megami Tensei is by Atlas. As far as I'm aware, there's, like, no connection between the games.
Then maybe there's no connection between just Saint Germain. They just decided, hey,
So
this is
weird.
really cool.
Yeah.
And, you know...
Very odd reference to make. Hurley uses great deductive powers to determine the man's address. What? It was a lodging room very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man shivering in fear. Mr. Sholm's great deduction certainly hit the mark that time. Of course it did. He's a great detective, is he? Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it? Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime. Oh. Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it, apparently. Oh dear, I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person. That's terrible. I can't imagine a legal system like that. Can you, Ryunosuke? Can you imagine if our legal system was like, they have to solve a case in 3 days or less? That would be awful. I suppose it would be, but in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Suseki-san. Thank you so much. Thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris.
Okay. I think they just...
I think it's just a reference, yeah. Nice little...
I don't think it's a reference either. I don't think they...
I don't think it's a coincidence.
Mm.
It's been very informative. Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun. Do you know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you've guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well. Well, he's back in the crime scene. He just left. I expect Hurley's still investigating the scene. Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, Mr.
Natsume.
Mr. Nuts. Ooh. May? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there. Iris, do you know where those lodgings are? I can't read a map. Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they? Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there? Greggy boy? Oh, goody. In that case, give Gregsy this... Oh, Gregsy. I was close. If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know. What is this? A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems. We're bribing the police now? Okay. A card for Inspector Gregson with a message on the back from Iris.
I think that's the postage.
It reads, tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem. Gosh, this will make the inspector help us, will it? Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. Good luck then. I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea. So come back again soon. We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
Would you like to hear our side of the speckled band?
Well, Mr. Naruto, it's back to the scene of the crime. I really thought Susato was going to raise concern and be like, wait, are you telling me all the stories that I've been reading? The people that died in those were real? Oh, no.
I thought it was going to be the opposite. Like, the way that they died and how it was not how it was written in the story.
So somewhat dubious that they would expect exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand.